There was a time when I believed strength meant suppression. If I felt anxious, I tried to overpower it. If I felt low, I tried to outwork it. If I felt overwhelmed, I told myself to endure silently. I thought discipline meant domination. But discipline without understanding becomes violence, especially when it's directed inward. I remember one particular morning. Nothing catastrophic had happened, no crisis, no tragedy, just pressure. Invisible, heavy pressure. My mind was loud. My body felt like it had been running for hours before the day even started. It felt like being under load before touching the bar, and I resisted it. I tried to force calm, tried to force clarity, tried to reason my way out of emotion. But emotion does not negotiate when it feels ignored. The more I fought it, the more it expanded. That was the day I stopped fighting. I let a song play, a slow, melancholic track I normally would have skipped. And instead of pushing the feeling away, I allowed it to exist. The music didn't remove the weight, it mirrored it. And something shifted. I wasn't drowning anymore, I was floating with it. That was the first lesson. What we resist persists. What we allow transforms. The Stoics spoke about this in different language. They taught that events are not the problem, our judgments about them are. They didn't preach emotional numbness, they taught alignment with reality. Music became my way of practicing that alignment. Instead of commanding myself to be calm, I asked, what is true right now? If the truth was restlessness, I played something intense. If the truth was grief, I chose something reflective. I stopped using music as escape. I started using it as calibration. There's science behind this, but the experience matters more than the data. Rhythm influences breath. Melody shifts focus. Anticipation releases dopamine. Cortisol lowers. The nervous system listens to tempo, whether we consciously do or not. Sound becomes structure. So I built structure. I stopped letting random playlists shape my state. I created deliberate ones. A focus set for deep work, a resilience set for setbacks, a courage set before difficult conversations, a grief set when something needed to be processed, not buried. Preparation is a Stoic habit. You don't wait for the storm to design the ship. The method I use is simple. First, match the emotion. If my thoughts are racing, slow ambient music feels dishonest. So I begin with energy that reflects my current state. Then, gradually, track by track, I guide it downward, from chaos to control, from intensity to steadiness. It's not suppression, it's transition. Second, active listening. Not background noise, intentional engagement. Close your eyes. Follow the bass line. Trace the layers. Feel the percussion. When your mind is fully occupied by structure, it stops rehearsing fear. Presence replaces rumination. This is where music becomes philosophy in motion. You practice what the Stoics called attention to the present moment. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. This note, this beat, this breath. Over time, something changed. The load didn't disappear. Life still applies pressure. Deadlines, setbacks, disappointments, they remain. But I stopped being dragged by my reactions. When a recent career setback hit, I felt the familiar tightening in my chest. The old version of me would have spiraled. This time, I acknowledged it. I opened the grief playlist. I walked. I listened. I let the emotion move through instead of hardening inside. Then I shifted to resilience. Not blind optimism, not forced positivity, just perspective. The Stoics believed we control our responses, not external outcomes. Music helps me practice that control physiologically before I attempt it mentally. It stabilizes the operator. And when the operator is stable, judgment improves. You don't eliminate emotion, you train it. You don't silence the storm, you learn to stand in it without collapsing. Music became my training ground for that. Under load does not mean overwhelmed. It means you are carrying weight. And weight can either crush you or strengthen you, depending on how you stabilize. So build your own discipline of sound. Don't escape your emotions. Study them, match them, then guide them. Become the conductor, not the noise. And remember, calm is not the absence of pressure, it is control within it. Stay disciplined, stay present, stay under load.